Chairman Emeritus, the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Sensenbrenner, has announced that he will be retiring at the end of the term. He has always been a strong defender of this committee and its jurisdiction. We have worked together on many important issues, such as surveillance reform and reauthorization of the Voting Rights Act. As the former chairman of the Crime Subcommittee, he helped lead this committee's recent criminal justice reform efforts. As the current ranking member of the Antitrust Subcommittee, he is a strong partner in this committee's bipartisan investigation into competition in digital markets. He has also been a passionate advocate for the rights of individuals with disabilities. He sponsored the ADA Amendments Act of 2008, which President George Bush signed into law, and which strengthened the landmark Americans with Disabilities Act. He has served this committee and this House with distinction, and he will be sorely missed. But I look forward to continuing to work with him over the next year and a half as he completes his service in Congress. I would now recognize the ranking member for any comments he may have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate you doing this. You know, for all the accomplishments that you just stated, on my side, it's not only the accomplishments of someone that I can look over to the left and see on the wall of this committee. For me to be able to sit next to Jim Sensenbrenner is one of the highlights of my career in serving with him. It is often said that when you have people that you look up to and they have played an impact on your life, you're truly just standing on the shoulders of their work that they've already went before, that most of us on this dais, especially on the Republican side, would not have the, frankly, the standing that we have from what he has done and over time. And it is something to be said that when he has put that much time and for all of the time in his district and all the time talking to his constituents. But the one thing, Mr. Chairman, that I will say that I got to know, you know, my chairman over here from Emeritus is his love for his family and for his precious bride and his kid. And that is, to me, what makes this place special. It's just, we're going to have all kinds of disagreements up here, and that's what we do. But at the end of the day, we all got families, and we can all put aside our discussions to know at the end of the day it's about that. And for what you have done and for the stuff that you went through, you mean the world to me, and I am just happy that I was able to make it through this without doing what I thought I might do. So, but again, I just want to thank you. We're going to have a lot more for you in the next to come. You're not out of here yet, and I yield back.
Hello, Chairman, yield.
I'll be happy to yield.
Well, you know, I've already threatened that I will be more unhinged and more tart during the next 16 months, since there's nobody who will ever be able to say, I'm never going to vote for you again because you did this or said that. I do appreciate the comments both by the chairman and the ranking member. You know, it's been a great 42-year run. During this period of time, I think we have accomplished an awful lot for the American people, making them safer, particularly making children safer with the Adam Walsh Act and the PROTECT Act. And that was all done on a bipartisan basis. You know, it kind of strikes me and disappoints me that when we do things on a bipartisan basis, it's not newsworthy. When we're screaming at each other and shaking our fists at each other, it gets to be very newsworthy. Well, the latter type of legislative action usually doesn't make it into law. The former type does. And I think that this committee, with its vast jurisdiction, which, as the chairman mentioned, when I became chairman, we lost a lot during my two predecessors' terms, that, you know, I grabbed it back and we were able to do, you know, an awful lot, you know, rather than in getting it stuck in perhaps the tar pits of the Energy and Commerce Committee and some of the other committees that think they should have it all. We have a vast jurisdiction. We've done a lot of it. I've made a lot of friends on both sides of the aisle. I'm not going very far because my wife is in a nursing home, and I don't have to come in during the rush hour, so I can make it in 20 minutes rather than riding the brake across the 14th Street Bridge. You know, this is something that I will look back to, and my children and my grandchildren, you know, will look back to and say that Grandpa made a difference. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart.